Oh, we the I mean, Toji. We the yeah, and you, okay. Okay, I got. Before you that.
No quasi fiare, mo wana de kola. Menya betu jibu me le ka menya be punya le ti. Elle le mama le dia. Elle le dia me dia.
Ore. Vala wana. Nda wana. Papa, bede.
Elle va moya. Bobasi. Foto bobasi. Bobasi.
Gaba. Ama. Kwene chambi. No kwe. Bwana.
Sasa na kwa basi.
Asive.
Kwa sababu
ala. Amara. Ngaji, ani kwe macho. Hasta bea.
Ona kuji papa ko obese look at him. Oh, Voodoo, my hair like you. Ewe Vodu. Ewe Vodu. We the I mean toji we the yeah enyo ekweni eka we kaya gado mi fonyo da
Nyako juga mau jatuh ha. Ini ada di mana bohong. Mau kuasi tiaya ni, mau mana ada kola. Menyebut tujuh bumi ni, kakek menyebut punya lebih. Lebih apa lebih ya? Lebih apa lebih?
Ore, valawana. Gawana.
Ele vai ganhar. Vou passar. Foto vou passar. Vou passar.
Gaba. Kwene chambi. No kwen. Bwana.
Sasa na kwa ba
Asive.
Kwa sio mja.
Ala. Amara.
Eu comecei a ser, eu comecei a ser para não.
Ngaji. Ami ko em na cho.
Eu vou que por calor.
Hasta bia.
ye form ele na wore jibu na kobe pe Voodoo pibiere loko ene no fi na fundonzo obe kukeu fi de funal operador ina avec pas abobe obono kwa boy okay biore mi je bago for the
Ko mi jo. De vile se mejo le ja.
de biore mi je party buka diole ona kuji papa ko obese yemi look at him. Oh, Voodoo, my hair like you. Ewe Vodu. Ewe Vodu. Oh, we the I mean, Toji. We the yeah, and you, okay. That's how we say I got. Before you that.
Nyako boju ge mo jadu ha. Ya da mo no mo. Mo kwasi fia ya le, mo wana de kola. Mo nya betu di bu me ya le, ga ke mo nya betu nya le fi. Elle le kwa me vi ya. Elle le bi ya me vi.
Bode. Vala wana. Nga wana.
Elle va moi ya. Bo pasi. Foto bo pasi. Bo pasi.
Gaba. Kwene chambi. No kwen.
Bwana.
Sasa na kwa basi.
Asibu.
Kwa sababu ya
Ala.
Amala.
Nó có mà xe hả? Thì anh em coi nó có mà xe hả? Thì bà ngọc.
Ngaji. Ami ko em na cho.
Nhưng mà cái con cầu rồi.
Hasta bea.
Dia come ele na orelha na come.
Voodoo. Voodoo is a Bokor. I see that. Hundoko or Miami, I'm going to be able to do electrical shop. Hundora could do it. Then I was wondering, I'm watching you. Then you look at I'm watching you. I took the who I can now work for every 12 for now, never now. Oja for a chair. Next Savoy, go to a Pontiano limit. Magalek Blocker. Meow meow. Me with 2 few. That means if you told it meow. I try any toy. Look at me a little. And I feel me a view, don't you watch? I consider creating me and I still why I look at Tommy whether anybody me away at me and you be your show and I try to be a point. Not quality. I hear best wrong and Kakasia. These are normal videos. All the food is right. Coffee. Hundoko or Miami, I'm going to be able to do electrical shop. Hundora could do it. Then I was wondering, I'm watching you. Then you look at I'm watching you. I took the who I can now work for every 12 for now, never now. Oja for a chair. Next Savoy, go to a Pontiano limit. Magalek Blocker. Meow meow.
Bishop
what they are not supposed to do. And the Orishas, or which we call the Voodoo or Taji Voodoo, that the spirits that come in your destiny, which are, I said, Taji Voodoo means they are on your head. They came into the world with you. It is only during Ifa or Afa initiation that you can identify them, and then you work with them. Just like what you were saying, somebody may be attracted to Shango, but in reality, Shango is not the one that they should be working with. The Obatala may be the DC, or maybe Yemoya or Olokun, or whatever they are supposed to be working with, but they say, oh, because they saw other people talking about Shango.
Their lives, the other people's life was going smoothly.
So you
perhaps because it is their own way.
Yes, but it's not your way. But when you got initiated into Afa or into Ifa, it is when you will know exactly which one is yours and which one is not yours. Thank you very much for answering that question. Thank you. Please, let's go back to some of the questions that are there. And then we have
while he's scrolling through, Papa, I wanted to ask, while I was in temple a few days ago, I saw the pattern of the Odu.
Okay.
And I do not fail to notice that although we have the same Odu Ifa, Ejogbe or Yokumeji, Imeji, but then the pronunciations and the way that do the pronunciations differ.
Yes.
And I would like to learn those pronunciations because I saw that Irete is lete.
Yes. Okay, I will explain why it is so. The reason being that our ancestors who brought this Afa to us that we are practicing today were once together with the Yorubas. And as time went by, when they move away from the Yorubas and come to settle where they are settling today, the adulteration of the language. So talking about Irete, as the time went by, it became lete. So it is also when it comes to we say trukpe.
We say oturukpon.
But we say trukpe. Then when it comes to something like Orunmila, our people adulterated it to Lumina. It is an adulteration of language over the years when people are changing from one place, moving from one place to another. People couldn't really maintain the original sound, but then the way they were hearing it becomes the way they start to call and pronounce it. That's why you see that actually the Gbemeji remains a Gbemeji. People call it the same way, Gbemeji, because it's easy to pronounce. And
Yeku.
Then you say Oyeku.
You say Yeku.
We will say Yeku.
Woli.
Where we say Woli.
Woli, yeah.
Yes.
Woli.
Yeah. So it is adulteration. So, we say the Gbemeji, and then we also say Jongbe, which is Jogbe.
Oh.
So it is the same, but it's over time linguistics or language moving from one place to another got adulterated so that the purity of the language loses the same, but the meaning remains the same.
Yeah. Because of some of my students who, some of my omawos who are obviously watching this program, they sent me to you.
Okay.
We wanted to
know
about.
It's the same.
The Okwele divination system, like we used to have. The type of Okwele, you use two Okwele at once, and we call it Abigba.
Okay.
From my place, we call it Abigba. We know it as Abigba, and I know that it works basically like the same way the Okwele divination chain works in terms of the Odus and the determinant, the Igbo.
Yes.
But I want to understand deeply the workings as compared to
the Yoruba. Okay, the Okpele, which is the original word of the Yoruba for the divination chain, we call it Pele or Gumaga.
Okay.
That's the name. But the Okpele is coming directly from the Yoruba Pele. We call it Pele. Yorubas call it Okpele. So some people call it Pele, but the
Yorubas call it Okpele.
Okpele. So what happens is that some people who are doing, we have in every Afa, we have about 3 or 4 different branches within the same Afa. There is the one we call the Jisa.
Okay.
Jisa Fa are the people who throw the Pele or the Okpele down.
Backwards like this.
Yes.
We throw has fall.
Yes.
Like
Then we call Anago. The word Anago is the word for the Yoruba in Ewe.
Yes.
So when they say
Anagoni.
So when they say you are Anago, means you are Yoruba.
The foreigner.
Yes.
Like a word for foreigner.
Yeah. So when you get Anago Fa, or you are practicing the way the Anago or the Yoruba practice, we throw it like what the Yorubas still do today by throwing it forward. But then when our people try to, let's say, convert it to their way, because when people get older, doing like this, waste problems come in. So it become easier when
we believe that pointing the Odu to you.
No, this doesn't point to you, in the sense that when in the Jisa, the head is always up. Even if you throw it, even if you turn it like this, the head is up.
There.
So it's not like when you turn it means the head come towards you. No, the head is still. So it is when we are fixing the.
I have already arranged
yes,
it.
Arrange it already. So when you bring it here, it is still facing up. So it is not like it puts its head down. So this is the technique our people have adopted over time. So it's not that when they throw it downwards means the head of the Pele or is coming to you. It's still going up there, but they read it that way. They're just like when you throw it this way. So this is the difference between the Jisa and Nago. We have what they call Gogo. It's also in between these two. I think they also throw this way. Then we have what we call the Amije, means the people who use the red palm oil in the Ifa. But the Anago, we don't use red palm oil to feed our Ifa at all.
Well, those are beliefs that are peculiar to your.
Yes. So some people use, which is the Jisa people, they use palm oil to feed the kennel. But when you get a Nagofa,
we use palm oil too.
You get the Nago, we don't use palm oil to feed the Ifa. In the sense that also the belief is that the palm oil is coming out of the palm nut. And to give respect, you don't give the same thing that you would destroy to give it to
the reason why we give palm oil to it to our ikin is that it is believed that of all the people who can appeal to the ikin in time when it is annoyed or angry or aggravated, is the palm oil
to cool it down.
They had long-term relationship from time immemorial. Okay. So we wanted to rely on that relationship.
No, but the every typical every Afa, which is the Jisa, they use the palm oil. Okay. But those of us who later learn, because I have the two, those of us who later learn the Anago Fa, we were advised not to use the palm oil, and with that it works for us perfectly, and the rituals that we do comes out perfectly. The only part that we feed anything with palm oil is when we are feeling Baba Legba with palm oil, issue, when we are feeding it with palm oil, and also when we are doing a witches ritual, we can give palm oil. But for the Ikins themselves, we do not use.
Wow, that's the first one. I'm just hearing that.
Yeah, we don't in that, and it works very perfectly for us. That's why we ourselves also we do not eat palm oil. We don't drink palm wine.
Those are peculiar. Now I understand why. Those are peculiar to Batala.
We don't know whether they are peculiar to Batala, but the way we were taught, in every Afa, there's no Batala.
Okay.
There's no Obatala. Oshosi is there, but Oshosi is also more into the Voodoo way, because it is also in Voodoo on its own, which we call the hunter spirit. Yeah. So Obatala is not directly in Ewe Fa. Other deities may be there, like Japa, which is indirectly the crocodile or the Olokun. Yeah. It's there. Japa is there. It's in Voodoo also, and it is in Ifa too. So we as the Ewe Afa has all this in, but we don't have Obatala in our own. Just like how the Yorubas
what Orisha do you have that signifies Obatala, authority and purity? And
every Voodoo has authority depending on
the one that is that you know that whose peculiarity is for purity, the white.
That is your destiny, your essay, your ori. That's the one that is the purity of everything. That's why your destiny, when they made it, they make it in white, and it's always pure white. So that's the one that we will say. That's why when you say Orisha, we are talking about head spirit. We will call it the destiny or essay. Oh. Yes, but we don't have the Obatala as a deity in. So maybe our destiny can represent the Obatala.
Yeah, there's a possibility of that.
Yes. Because this Afar studies and all this spirituality is a very big study that one person can know it all. You have to continue learning. You have to continue researching to compare, to see where you can pick this one from there. Because like in the Ewe, we have the Shango, which we call So.
But
or Hebiasu.
There are similarities within the Shango of Nigeria and
yes, exactly, because the Tanda deity. So we have that one where we call it So Hebiasu. Or it has also its various other elements. So we will not call it Shango, but we'll call it Hebiasu. And then we have the Egu, which you call no, not Egugu. Ogun.
Oh, Ogun.
We will call it Egu. Or Gu. Simple. The Ogun didn't come, and it doesn't have a Egungun, because we in Ewe Afa we don't have masquerade spirits. So there is no Egungun in our practice. Maybe
so how do you do ancestral venerations?
Oh, we do ancestral venerations by consulting the oracle, and whatever the oracle say we should to do is what we follow. We don't have a masquerade spirits in Ewe Fa as such, but in Benin, for people, that's why you see the Zangbeto spirits and all this. But somehow, those of us who have traveled far and near, sometimes we look at this as human elements who
were added
to this thing, where some human being hide in something to imitate and emulate, pretend to be a spirit. For us in Ewe Afa, when spirit possess you, as you are like this, that's how it's going to possess you. You don't need to wear anything.
Yeah.
And if the spirit possess you and you wish to go and wear a dirty clothing to come and demonstrate, or wear a torn cloth or wear leaves, you will be your real self before getting those things to wear on yourself, because the spirit is now on you, trying to symbolize which spirit is possessing you. Instead of hiding inside some thing that has been made already to make people to be scared or to put fear into people that there's a spirit. Meanwhile, it's a human being inside there pretending to be a spirit. That's why we don't have this Egungun culture in typical Ewe Fa practice or Voodoo. But in Benin, the people who are closer to Nigeria, they speak Yoruba there as well. So those people, they have this masquerades and all this. But when you come down to Ghana and maybe part of Togo, we do not really.
Well,
sorry, let me get
I kind of noticed that while you might not have some of the, one of the things that I noticed over time is that we have across board. We practice the same spirituality in different ways.
Yes.
And different fractions.
Right.
However, but then we do the same thing all across the world. And the energy sources that we call upon, they are the same sources, but we call them in different ways. Because
Exactly.
in my time with the Togolese, with the in Cotonou,
yeah.
there is an Oja called Tron.
A Tron is across board.
Yeah.
It's not a particular Orisha. The word Tron means deity in general. And a Tron is a deity that can get more people coming to it and benefiting from it than a small voodoo that one individual has.
Yes.
So a Tron becomes a communal.
That is what we refer to as Orishas.
Okay.
But there is a Tron. The way they said it, they said it as if it was a particular Orisha that is not. I didn't know that it was.
Oh, it's a Ewe word and a four word across board for deity.
When I got back to Nigeria and I wanted to initiate into the Orisha, I was told by a father, this is Orisha of
Babaluaye, which we call Sakpata.
So Sopono, we call it Sopono too.
We will call it Sakpata or Sakpate, depending on the Ewe dialect. The Ewe dialect, like Yoruba, the Ewe language, like Yoruba, has so many dialects within the same language. So when you move, like when you go to Ogun State, the way they pronounce certain words is totally different when you go to Ile-Ife. Yes. So it's the same. Yes, it's the same Yoruba, but there's a little bit of dialect situations in it. So the same thing with the Ewe. So there are people who call Sakpate, which is Babalu Aye. Sakpate, people call it Sakpata. And then when you come to the area where I come from, we even don't call it Sakpata or Sakpate or Sakpano. We call it, what do you call it? Anyigbato, owner of the land. Which refer to the Yoruba word Babalu Aye. So Anyigbato. So it's the same thing.
Same thing across board.
But then the dialect and the language.
I noticed too also that there are differences in the way of propitiations.
Yes.
The way we refer to them, the way we talk to our Orishas.
Yes.
And I think that there are some things that are peculiar to our people and that are peculiar to your people that we might need to do exchange on. Because because the beauty of it anyways is that when people come to a Bokor or an Ifa priest or whatever, or as
to be able to solve their
problem, they come in good faith and they go back happy.
Yes.
That after all, Fa or Ifa had seen their problems, provided solutions, and then seen to it that their lives become better at the end of the day. It's a privilege to be on Joshua Baba.
Oh, thank you very much for coming, because you see this. Situations is what is this kind of conditions and situations in language, dialect, and adulteration has given our people sometimes thinking that Ifa is totally different from Afa.
No.
And I had always been telling people that no, it is the language, the adulteration of the language over the centuries or millennia or whatever that change the pronunciation. Because Yoruba as a language has so many things that the Ewes also call the same way as the Yorubas call it.
Yeah.
Like when we say deaf, we say ku. The Yoruba say oku.
Well.
Okay, which we also say the same. And then there are so many words like, let's say, papahe. You will call it pepeye.
Papahe.
Yes.
Pepeye.
So there are some people, dialect in Ewe, when they say ehe, means bird or a flying animal. Eye. But then there's part of Ewe land also, they will call it Eye, which is when you are going towards Beni. So instead of them calling it Pakpahe, they will call it Pakpaye. Or Aje Yevi. Aje Yevi, which will means Aje heavy, the witch bird.
Okay, yeah, Jay.
So this all this thing is the same. So the Ewe is also called Aje as Aje.
I noticed that during the divination you did for me.
So these things are the same, only that the language differs a little bit, but the meaning remains the same.
But I think that you have a lot of people waiting.
We are going to answer them. This discussion really clears a whole lot of people's mind on this subject of whether Yorubas were the original people of Ifa that the Ewes learned from. That is a very challenging thing for certain people. There were so many conferences that I have attended, and people try to prove that no, the Ewes, they got their own. It has nothing to do with the Yoruba. Then I said, which language in Ewe is Meiji? Tell me if Ewe, there's any word in Ewe called Meiji. And then no one can answer.
Or a letter.
No, even forget about the letter, but the Meiji as double, which is a Yoruba word for double. We use the same in Afa in everything that we say. Bemeji, Yekumeji or Yekumeji, Letemeji, Chemeji, all this Meji, Dimeji. So where is the Meiji coming from if you people say it has nothing to do with Yorubas? And then people get stuck up in that position, they can't defend it. So people now finding, trying to find another way of pronouncing it just to deviate from the original way, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is that if you know it, you know. If you don't know, you can be making all the necessary mistakes or whatever you want, speculations, but it proves that the Yoruba and the Ewe people at one time were together, and our people migrated them past the.
Well, I am saying it openly. I would really want to invite you to Nigeria, Papa. This year, I want you to come to Nigeria to educate our people. There is a conference that we use. I'm openly inviting Baba. Please help me invite Baba. One of the reasons why I'm still in Ghana is because we are doing a research on how we can inculcate indigenous knowledge into our educational system for our young ones. You can imagine that the knowledge that the Bokors, the knowledge that is embedded in the safe repository of the Bokors, of the Ifa priest, of the Olorisha, of the those knowledge are scientific knowledge that can be utilized for society.
Exactly.
And we think that it is high time for us to begin to curate this knowledge for our young ones, not as Bokors, because we cannot all be Bokors.
Oh, no, at all.
Not at Ifa priests, because we cannot all be Ifa priests, but as geographers, as scientists, as physicists, as accountants, as across the different stratas of society.
I agree with you 100%, because that's what we had always been saying.
I am meeting with the Institute of African Studies, University of Ghana tomorrow to see if we are doing a research and work on that. I also hope we've been partnering with certain institutions back home in Nigeria. We hope that this is a general African call by the School of Financial Studies, SIOS, and this is an unofficial invite. Anyways, I'm bringing my invitation box. I want to ensure that you come to Nigeria by November this year.
Oh, sure. So if this opportunity is there and I'm not tied up with anything, then definitely, because it's a knowledge that needs to be taught to the youth, to the young people, so that they can use that.
We hope that you can, in Ghana, we hope that you can also lead the charge, because whether we like it or not, we need our young ones. You can imagine that the young Bokor who did rituals for me the last time, when it is time for his religious studies, he could not say that he wants his own indigenous religious studies. He has to choose within the Christian or the Muslim religious studies, or or he leaves the class. But then we are not doing our young ones any good if we do not provide alternatives.
Exactly.
them
But
before.
see, the problem, whether it's a problem or whatever it is that our own people are sometimes afraid and shy away from their indigenous language or indigenous knowledge, in the sense that when you say you are a traditionalist, you are looked down upon in society, because our society is comprising of Christians and Muslims. If you say you are Hindu, it's far away, so nobody really cares. But if you say you are a traditional person, or immediately people start to look at you as an outsider. Meanwhile, they are the outsiders. Yeah, there was a lady here yesterday who is my nephew, or my niece brought her. They came to greet me, and then we were having a discussion, and she saw the herb, the plant growing there. And said, "What is it?" So it's called avena, or boundary tree in English. Then they said, "What is it for?" So it's for cleansing. For we traditional spiritualists, we use it to cleanse our aura and our body. Then he said, "Oh, are you a juju man?" I said, "Yes, I am a juju man." And he said, "Are you killing people?" That's the next question that came.
That is the stereotype. It is because
he said, "Are you killing people?" I said, "No, I don't kill people. Why should I kill people?" And he said, "Oh, but juju people kill people." Then I said, "Okay, in this world, who has killed more people in this world than Christians and Muslims? If we have to face reality, the number of people Christians have killed and still killing, and the number of people Muslims have killed and still killing, compared to what the traditional priests or traditional knowledge holders have killed. Can you compare?
No, you can't.
But we can document, or that there are documented, what will I say, documented events and facts about the number of people killed by Christians. There's kind of a magenta green inside the screen. I don't know whether you can see it. Is the light actually?
On the laptop is fine.
So that means people will see.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I think this one is a monitor.
It's from the monitor.
Let me check the connection properly. So, is the connection from the monitor?
I think it's okay. We can start, as long as the people watching can see us clear.
Yes, please.
That's fine. Here there is not enough light in it. Is it you who regulated it? Because it's your phone. So, yes, then there be some. Like, yes, exactly. Good. Thank you. So I can also be seeing it. Okay, thank you all very much for waiting. I greet you. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be at this very precious moment. Thank you all very much for waiting. Today is another day. We are streaming live at African Magic Temple Shrine in Accra. It's a question and answer section. ReVodution Voodoo education question and answer section. Here on the platform, we learn from everybody who wants to teach us, and those who also want to learn from what we know. We are ready to share. I'm going to pour libation, and then after the libation, I will continue. Please call Kofi to come and help you here. Oh, Maduago Zieto. Mayo Maunga Sobolisa. Mayo Maunga Kitikata. Mayo Maunga Ese Joto, Ame Joto. Ese Nanuame. Sete Nanuame. Woman of heavy, Dokon of heavy. Woman of heavy may be an Dokon of heavy, but not Dokon of heavy may be an woman of heavy, but sending my Maduago. Mayo Shamham for a shop, semi for a shop, Maduago. Mayo Abraxas, Meos, Yadrepoduago, Yatadreto, Vimacuna. Oh, Vesoton, Cameo Maduago. Mayo Mianos or Jay, and Yizuka Kachikas Bojadre, Nalafabanya Bumila, Puya Bumila, Jurhono Mayora Kakelo, when Yain Bama, Jufla for playing Bama Duadica, when you have Limama Tekulu, Eteku, Etega. Oh, my own kind, but you kind, or you kind, you overkind, but kind, trove overkind, mini overkind, if you overkind, manu, a tobacco, gavakind, believe I remember a hajado, a copper babandoju, if you toba, sromatedoju. Miami Nuda, Miami Hogba, Miami Bewa, Miami Kakua, Miami Premier Zango, Miami Clivira, Kayora, Kawojo, Pata Jomaku, for coming volume, Chimavo, Voodoo, and Berico, $4 for me. Jabonio Hebe. When you met Yamu, Moju, I'm quite a quick vanilla payment, but over your 2 o'clock woman not a perica. Your patabayele happy, a jovon vajo, ye jopata of a few. Jopata, Matrona Magbedamo, I vifag by early dinner. Jopata neno, Annie, Afemia, Ajolo, Jopata, Jopata, in at the Pemayo, or Massimo Bogi to the wedding tap at Bellutis Bolu Ajima, or Bojukulo Jalofan comment. Valentine for family, Balo Jonak Bufu, I go sapate mayo, I think a lemayo, go with the mayor can a la fear. And now Hamilo, but I got a good Jim and Yas and I could have been a bassy, I better have been a family, no, but then I got a friend, I mean, I'm a sick living. Mayo. Mayo Tawigi, work my passes and for her, Mayo Brahini, Mayo Bochi, my young fully Cocomar, Kagoming, go to Kucha Kumakamanga, when you Kutuman and Farani. Mayo Tonio Cosepoco, Cubiero, and Maria Cosavo, Kufoniko Gaji, Tassinia Amosi, Fusi, Jam Cosa, Braco, Brian, Amani Bodin, Bata, when I go coffee, Tawina Kubia, Mensa, Mamma and Drapen, Bepecuno, Kutuban and Fanami. Mayo Peña Celestina, Wakubia, Katrina, Kubia, Puya, Seco, Puya, Bena, Kubia, Kutuban and Fanamilo. Mayo Mias Ram, Bochicha, Kubia, Cecilia, Penecatapemens, Kutunafa. Manami Gongongo. Mayo would not to you, but to you, Mayora Kokini, Hansa, Punchi, Barasu, Baragonana. Bocatireke, come la tireke, Kutumana Fanami Boca, Dafris, or Sofa, who will be Bocafa, Jobu, who know who live up, who know leg by Avaganto Bama, and say Kutumana Fanami, your Togarani, Tritulita, Tob Abraham, Given Chami, Tabufia, Tossing on Kabila Benina, see, I got him. Kutumana Fanami. The Emayo Amaga Koku, Anna. Tovi and Kaima Kutumane Fana. We are Daniel Levy, Pomarena Baro, your happy Acosa Baji, we are Harrison George Ajovu, Yamayo, Tobocoquam via Joge, Bococom Lazuma, Abovi, your Benis Benunia Sense, Emayo, Ruben Comla Akubia. Mayor Trevi view, Brian view, Gajavu, Kubia view, Baby, Poison the Battery and Wateshi, Matemati to Carpenter Road View. Boy gonna be Spinters Road View with the Kutuman and Fanani. Ya wudi da kama chia ba ben pe bia wa da pe ja dan ba gbodo bi me ku acha gbodo zuma hala ba to me mayomi e me to gbe glim do ko chu ji me fo abeja no gbe komo ko chi ne tu ne glim do ko ne glim do one glim do yo to ko chu manya me yo na go jo na sakumu no mayomi apete vodu pete fo hram ma chia ba lo mi mayomi apete mi ho ha ne mi no mi na ko da gbe bi da gba si da gbe ne ba yo afana gonu afagbo majeso purpose pepele tamaso le menda pa vidi yo poligbe meji ku meji oli meji di meji lo so meji ngole meji abla meji akla meji kuda meji sa meji ka meji truko meji tula meji lete meji che meji fu meji oli che tula me yo kleba vile ko ataba do bo ataba de ngale ma ko ine dilo dagbera go jime yo mi do na mesese be ji ngo be ji me yo mi do sinedi apene fagbe ne fa mi no lo he be ne ja ne ji na mi lo yo mi enu le ka ko be yo mi opetesia. Okay, thank you all very much for joining today's section. We have been away in the village for the past few days. We just returned, and last Sunday we did a live transmission, but it was mainly we were using the magic mirror to do a reading for people in the village where I was initiated into the magic mirror. We went and did ancestral veneration for them, and then the following day, which was Sunday, we were using the magic mirror to read it. Today we are back here at the studios in Accra, and I would like you to send your messages, your questions, and your comments. I'll read them, and then I'll try to answer what I know. On this program, I don't speak to whatever I don't have any idea about. What I know is what I teach. What I don't know, I don't teach about it. And if you all have, those of you who have been following this program for some time now, you will realize that anytime someone asks me a question that I don't know anything about, I openly will tell the person I don't know anything about that particular question. Because spirituality is not a competition. It's an individual affair. The way that I go through before finding my God and my peace is up to me. And that is what I teach. And if you feel that what I am teaching is resonating with you and helping you to find your peace in this wicked world, then it's fine. But if what I am teaching does not resonate with you, I'm not in competition with anybody. I am not an authority on anything. The things that I have learned over the years are what I teach. Thank you all very much. So we have on TikTok, and we have Simeon Bright. Simeon Bright saying good evening. Good evening to you, Simeon Bright. Thank you very much for joining today's section, live streaming, and also thank you for having the patience to wait for me. Then we have Nana Ama say, please, do you do online consultation? Yes, we do. But we have our own process of doing it. We do online consultation because most of the people we do consultation for are not in Ghana, or they don't come to our shrine. We follow our direction, and then we do the consultation for them. Thank you very much, Nana Ama. Thank you very much. And then we have Maria saying Nana Ama with the flowers and saying okay, HUM and then we have hello William saying hi, hello Willie, how are you? Thank you very much for joining. And we were just in the village recently. I hope you are doing well. And then hello William again, giving us a scissors or XXX, I don't know, giving us some, I don't know what that means. Is it sixes? Knife, cross knife. Okay. Then we have Akadichi say hi, Togbi Enuledo. Hello Akadichi. Nuledo, America Madena Nudo, Oliwofu, Akpebubure. And then we have Makaya 77 say, welcome back, sir. Hello, Makaya. Leke Mifwa, Akpebubure. Thank you very much for joining today's section. And then we have Mr. Ima. Say, Papa, you are welcome back. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Ima. And then Akadichi said, my question is about spiritual travel and it can and how it can manifest. It can manifest. Can you explain? Thank you. Okay, Akadichi, I don't know exactly what you meant by spiritual travel. There is something people call astral traveling. I don't know whether that is what you are calling spiritual travel, but astral traveling is said to be it's a kind of out of body experience where you visit places and then you are conscious about the places you visit. But this thing is more theoretical than practical. A lot of people write and talk about it, but hardly you will see any human being or any spiritualist who will actually tell you exactly how they astral travel. Most of the time, there are people who will tell you stories, and if you probe deeper into them, you realize that they cannot do that what they spoke about, and it is more like just bluffing. And I would say it's more like a story than a reality. But there is possibility that there are some people who can do that. But I have been a Hindu monk for many years. I've been in the monastery in India and also the monastery in Ghana here before traveling to India. Finally, after taking charge of the monastery in Nigeria for some time, before coming back into Voodoo practices and later taking on Afa, learning Afa, which I'm still learning every day. I have not really, I had never traveled on astral traveling. So when people talk about spiritual traveling or astral traveling, I have a very little information on what it is and how to talk about it, because I personally have never had any personal experience of astral traveling. Yeah, that's what I can say to that. Thank you very much for that beautiful question. Kofi, I just need a camera facing me. I'm too much at the side. Yeah, I think like this is better. So, Akaditi, I have never had any out-of-body experience or astral traveling or spiritual traveling. I've never had. However, with the Abochi, the magic mirror into which I am initiated, and I recently initiated one of my children into it. In the Abochi, you can sit consciously, and when you are looking into the mirror, or you send the mirror on a journey to a particular place, somehow your mind and your spirit follows the mirror to wherever you send it, and then you will be relating the stories of the place to the people who have come to do the reading or your clients. And that indirectly is like you are sitting, but you have traveled to a different place by just like what would I use to describe it? It's like you are watching a television, but you are playing part in the television. Is it meta games that?
Virtual reality.
Not virtual reality. There was a kind of a film or Matrix. Is it Matrix? The Matrix, where you will be consciously in the physical world, but you can enter into the game and be able to play a part. I think that's how I can describe it. I don't know whether I'm making sense. That's how I can describe it. It's like you are here, but you are there at the same time to be able to consciously see and know whatever is happening there, and then relating it to your client who is sitting in front of you. And then you can only confirm it with the person who is sitting in front of you, that you are seeing this, or you are looking at this, or you are in this particular place with this mirror. Thank you very much, Akadi T. I'm very grateful. And then we have a rich Lord, and we have a Simeon Bright. I want to know more about myself. Yes, a rich Lord. Simeon Bright. If you want to know more about yourself, go to a spiritualist, and they will do a spiritual consultation for you and tell you more about yourself. Told us this and told us that. That's not what we do here. We face reality of nature. We face our limitations as human beings in nature. So we don't say things that we don't experience. So if you want to know more about yourself, try to consult a spiritualist and get closer to them, and they will be able to help you and guide you. Today my voice is a little bit low, but you people have to bear with me that sometimes things happen that way. And then we have it's called remote viewing. Okay, thank you very much for that contribution. And we have Helen saying, good evening, Daddy. Hello, Helen, good evening to you. I hope you are fine. And Akaditi say, thank you, Toby, it makes perfect sense. I'm grateful that it makes perfect sense. And then we have Nini George saying greetings, and greetings to you too, Nini George. I'm grateful that you joined us. And then we have Akaditi again. My follow-up question is, what is conscious state of the diviner while using the Abochi mirror? Oh, the conscious state of the diviner while using the Abochi mirror is just like a normal conscious state that you are seeing everybody in front of you. You know what that you are being spoken to by energies that you cannot see. Sometimes they appear in the mirror for you, and the mirror they usually actually appear in your mind and give you names and give you direction and tell you things. So the conscious state of a person who is doing the Abochi is just like a normal event. That's why I said that I can sit here and I can at the same time be anywhere that I have sent the mirror to, because the mirror will be giving me, the spirits in the mirror will be giving me information where they are, and it's like I'm watching a television or being in a virtual state where I am physically here, but I am also there at the same time. That's what the state is. It's not like you are here and then you get processed and you don't know what you are doing. You are consciously aware of every bit of information you are giving out and receiving. Thank you very much, Akaditi. I'm grateful. And then Kojo document, he said, please, I would like to learn how to pour libation. Okay, Kojo documentary, thank you very much. Pouring of libation, we do it every day when we start. Every Sunday before we start our program, is the first thing we do. You can go back to some of our old videos and you can watch how it's done. And more so, if you remain with the program until the end of today's program, I'll be pouring some libation again at the end of the program, so you can learn something from that and learn how to pour libation. So stay with us if you can. And then Mr. Ima say, Papa, please, I want to meet you personally. Yeah, Mr. Ima, I am always available. Take our number, book an appointment, and you will meet me physically. I'm not someone that you cannot meet. I'm not the kind of spiritualist who make myself look as if I were God or a spirit. I'm human as any of you are. You can always see me. Once you book an appointment and you follow our procedure, I am always there, available for you to see. Thank you very much, Mr. Ima. And then we have a Nini George is a best say, it happens to me, but without using mirror. Okay, if it happens to you without using the mirror, you are lucky. For me, like I said earlier, I've never had out of body experience, so I cannot talk about other people. I talk about me, what I have experienced. Let's get this and fetch me some water. And then we have me, George again, and say that became the George became the number 14 fan in the fan club. Thank you very much. And George has sent us heart me ×1. We are grateful. And George shared the life. We are very grateful. And then George again is saying, thank you, sir. Thank you too for being here and asking the question. We are very grateful. And then we have a doctor one the general. Say, how are you? I'm from Ghana. Hello, I am in Ghana. I live in Ghana. And then is that the same thing all through? See, the first time of this person being here, I think so. I am also from Ghana and I live in Ghana. And then we have Akaditize Akpelo Toby. This was very insightful. I'm very grateful that you asked that question, Toby Akaditi. I am grateful. Thank you, and thank you very much for everything. Here we are learning. Everybody is learning. Everybody who comes on the program, we are learning. I am not here to push people to believe or not to believe. I only answer questions that people bring up, and sometimes I will chip in some of my own personal experiences whenever a question that is asked has something to do with my personal experience over the years. Then I will chip in those stories to be able to validate my position on that particular question. Thank you very much, Toby Akaditi. I'm grateful. And then we have Da. I've read that one. And then we have Da. It's a Papa, please. Can one be initiated into the Abochi remotely? No. Initiations in general are not best when they are done remotely. And especially Afa, Voodoo initiation, and also, of course, Abochi initiations are done physically because you must have the Abochi in your hand. You must also sit on the grave of someone who had used a magic mirror before, who was a spiritualist. Because Abochi is more like a necromancy, where dead people come to communicate with you, to tell you things that are happening. Or you can say it in a crude way that is like ghosts are the ones that you work with. People who have died already are the ones you work with. So for you to be initiated into the Abochi, you need to be physically present to go through the training and the discipline. So thank you very much. Akadenda is asking that question. And then Akaditi's last question. Can you tell us if and how long meditation helped with receiving spirits information? I have, as I said, that I was a Hindu. I had followed Hinduism from the age when I was about 16 years. I started following Hinduism from the age 16 years. And I have gone, I was initiated into my first lesson, and I was practicing meditation and practicing asanas, which is the yoga practices, of exercises. And I have done that for so many years. But the only thing I can say, and I can believe that it has helped me, is that probably it has calmed me down anxiety-wise. I'm not that person who is so anxious and ready to be running after things or attacking people, or I'm able to control anger. I think that's what I can say. I'm able to control my emotions. And that's what I have gained from meditation over the years. I am able to control my emotions of anger and desire, and also make me to have patience in life in general. So I think that's what I have gained from doing meditations over the years. The spiritual aspect of it, I cannot tell exactly, but maybe because of the patience that I have and the control of my emotions, it has helped me to develop on the spiritual path that I have now taken. There are many people on this, our traditional, African traditional spirituality, especially Ewe Vodu, that do not have patience. The little thing, they flare up with anger, with lies and stories, just to make someone look like they don't know anything. But for me, over the years, because of the spiritual practices that I had practiced before coming back into Voodoo practice, had made me to have patience and also not to have anxiety. And every word that comes out of my mouth is calculated in order not to hurt the other person that I am communicating with. That does not mean that I don't get angry. I also get angry sometimes. But when I get angry, my anger, I just keep it to myself, and I leave the scene and go somewhere where I can overcome my anger. But I don't get angry and attack people and listen. I will just retreat. It's not out of cowardness, but it's out of the patience that I have for life. Yeah, I think so. So, doing meditation may help you to calm down your mind, but spiritually, as compared to African traditional spirituality, especially Voodoo, it's a little bit not very clear. But then, of course, the Western world and people believe that meditation is the key. And already our practice of Voodoo had been denigrated because it is so quick and it's very practical, and it gives you physical and practical results. So people believe that it may not be coming from God, it may be coming from the devil. But whether it's coming from the devil or it's coming from God, we need is to be able to solve our problems while we are here. And we cannot be hungry, thirsty, and poor, and at the same time calling that we have a God or we have a spirit that is so almighty and is the overall spirit that can help us, yet still we are with that spirit and we are still at the bottom of society. So spiritually wise, I think meditation has its own way. And I had done that. I've been a monk was ordained in the Varanasi, which is the holy city of the Hinduism. That's where I was ordained. And I had been a regional priest. I think I've said it many times here in Thailand, Bangkok, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia as a Hindu-related monk. Not a Buddhist monk, but a Hindu-related monk. Yeah. That was in Anandamaga Pracharaka Sangha. That's what I was initiated into. So meditation may calm your mind down if you do it properly. But just crossing your legs and sitting down and you are feeling pain and you are sweating and you are sleeping and you call it a spiritual practice, sometimes that doesn't resonate with me, and I cannot talk very much about that because everybody has their own personal experience. But in African traditional spirituality, there is nothing called meditation the way the Hindu side is. Meditation may be just sitting down and contemplating about things that are happening in your life or things that you want to achieve. And in Hinduism, we were resonating a particular mantra in order to be one with the universe. That's what I know. Thank you very much, Akaditi, for that beautiful question. And then we have a Stana. Say, please, what is the difference between gods and Bukata? I don't know what is Bukata. I've never heard it before, and I cannot tell you the difference because I don't know. If you can explain what Bukata is, I may have an idea, and maybe I'll tell you what if there is any difference. But I don't know what is Bukata. I've never heard it before. It's the first time I'm hearing that word in my life. Thank you very much. And then I say, okay, thank you, Papa, for your answer. I'm very grateful and thank you for your question. And then we have Ali Jacob saying, Salaam alaikum. Malaikum salam. How are you, Ali? And again, Ali said, Assalamu alaikum, Baba. Malaikum salam. How are you? I hope you are fine, Ali Jacob. Thank you very much for joining the section. Hope you and your loved ones are fine. We have Amazia. He said, Father, what is the difference between using your left and right hand for pouring libation? Okay. The teachers who taught me, they taught me that if I am praying to the divinities, to spirits, to voodoos that I have received from them or was initiated into, I should use my right hand to pray. But if I'm praying to ancestors, people who had died, who are no more alive, I should use my left hand. The main reason why this was taught me is that the people who are dead and gone are believed to be on our left side. They are no more physical, because the left hand is only regarded to be the hand that take care of bad things, like going to the toilet and wiping your ass in our culture. But in some cultures, people use right hand to wipe their ass. But then in every culture, from childhood, they taught you to use your left hand, and you cannot use your left hand to shake people, and you cannot use your left hand to eat food. Even if you are left-handed, they will try to guide you to a point where at least you can use your right hand to eat and to shake people. So in my culture, the left hand is regarded for the things that are not good, but the right hand is the one that is the working hand every day, everywhere. So when you are praying to spirits that are physically with you, you should use your right hand. That's what I was taught. And then when the people who had passed on and they are no more with you are regarded as people in the past, then I used the left hand. So this is what I was taught by my teachers. But then I have also seen many people who even use the right hand to pray to their ancestors. So it depends on what your teacher taught you. What they taught me is what I teach, and that's what I do. If I had known it by myself, I wouldn't have gone to any teacher to learn. But because I didn't know how these things were done, and my teachers taught me, and I'm following in their footsteps. If they had done it and they were successful, I pray and hope that when I am also doing the same way, I will be successful. Thank you very much, Amazia, for this question. And then we have Akaditi again, said, Togbi, thank you very much. Elache, Macheku, machedo akwiragbe eviragbe asidagbe hekebe jijebe la mesese kwagbe didi ko wolache akpegbogo akaditi. And then we have brew great. He said, please, how can I get a retentive memory? You can only get a retentive memory from a person who knows how to prepare a retentive memory medicine for you. However, if they are selling a retentive memory in the shops or in any place, you can go and buy, you can get a retentive memory. But if you want to do it in the spiritual way, you need to approach people who have the knowledge of preparing herbal medicine that will help you to retain information that come into your mind. Thank you very much, Brew Great. And then we have somebody, 130042761574 asking for location. Our location is on Google Map. You type in African Magic Temple, you will find our location. But we do not entertain people who do not book an appointment with us. Thank you very much. And then we have Dawn Silence. Please, I want to be rich because in my family there's not even a single person who is rich in the Fa. Dawn Silence. If you want to be rich, then you have to work hard. Because there is nothing like called spirit money, whereby without working, you just become rich. However, there are techniques that will be taught you to follow in life if you have some work that you are doing. And these techniques and these spirits that they may be introduced to you may help enhance the work you are doing to attract customers to you so that you will be able to get more customers and also keep some part of the money that you are making. But to sit down without any work and just looking into the sky and expect to be rich, I have not come across it yet. But people say there is, you can become rich without working. I have never come across it yet, and I will not encourage anybody because personally, I have never come across it. But if you want to be rich, then you should be ready to work hard, and through hard work and some incentives, opportunities will come, and then you will be able to keep some part of whatever you earn. And that, as you continue keeping the small parts, one day you will have enough and you will call yourself rich. But I have not remember any rich man has ever called themselves rich before, because they are still working and still looking for wealth. Thank you very much, Don Silence. And then we have Kamaluddin. He said, it's the same question all along. He said, Chief, I want you to check about my life for me. Hello, Kamaluddin. You will have to, if you want us to do it, you will have to book an appointment. We don't do checking of people's life on our program because we don't know you and you don't know us. You are only coming on the program. There are procedures at my shrine that we use in doing reading and consultation. You can call the number, book an appointment. They will tell you what to do, and we can do a consultation for you. Thank you very much. And then Amazia said, Father, how long will it take to be initiated into Fa? A Fa initiation at our shrine is about 4 or 5 days. It's about five days, yeah, I would say. But that does not mean when you are initiated into a Fa today, you know everything about Fa. You will have to continue learning daily until you master all the Odus and also begin to understand the stories, and then learn about the herbs, learn about the songs. Even I, who I am speaking here, I don't know all. I'm still learning. I cannot pretend to know all. But Afa initiation at our shrine takes only 4 to 5 days. There are places that Afa initiation is 7 days, and there are places that Afa initiation is 16 days. I have taken the longer version of Afa initiation, but as time went by, looking at the situations in the physical world today, time is money. So the people who helped me to initiate, come to help me to initiate people into Fa, we have all come to agreement that because people may not have that time to be around for long, we have made it between 4 and 5 days of initiation. Thank you very much, Amazia, for that information or that question. And then Kamaldeen is still asking if that I should check for him. Please go onto our website, look for our number, book an appointment, and we will check for you. Please, let's go. Move it up. So Ali Jacob is saying, Kana Yokat. I don't understand that language. I don't speak that language, so I would not be able to understand what you are trying to insinuate. So please make it in a language that I can also understand. Let's move on. Just move on. Just move on. Then Kamaldeen finally heard me, and then he said, okay, thank you very much for understanding. Then we have Kudaje Koajo. Say, please, your location. We are in Accra on the Spinters Road. You can Google African Magic Temple on your Google map or Google location, and you will find us. Then we have my brother here, Dada Akwa. He says, people claim going to Africa Voodoo and assistance has their consequences at the end. Is this true? I don't think the people who spoke about such things have ever delved into African traditional spirituality, especially Voodoo. I don't think they have ever delved into it. There's a whole lot of philosophy that is out in the world that has been trying for centuries to diminish the knowledge and wisdom of the African, the black man, by denigrating anything Africans practice as spirituality as evil. So when you have never tried something before, it is advisable that you don't make a direct and conclusive closure to that, because if African traditional spirituality is dangerous and have its consequences, and our ancestors, Africans, what were the consequences that your family had faced that will make African spirituality dangerous or have consequences? These are some of the questions that I ask myself and I ask people. And then after myself joining or getting into African traditional spirituality, I have seen a lot of progress in my own life and the people who had come to me, and also people who, my own children, and have seen a lot of changes in our lives. And I cannot say that it has its consequences. However, everything in life has consequences. Even drinking of water. If you don't know how to drink water with patience, your water you are drinking in your cup can choke you, and it can even cause you death. If you are eating food and you don't eat the right food, it has its consequences. If you are riding a motorbike or a bicycle and you don't ride it well, the proper way, it has its consequences. And even if you are going to school or studying something which has nothing to do with African traditional spirituality, if you don't study it well or properly, it has its own consequences. So everything in life has its consequences. If you are using a knife to cut something and you don't watch out well and you are just cut, you may end up cutting yourself, and that may be the consequences of you not paying attention to what you were doing. So definitely, everything in life has consequences, and African traditional spirituality or voodoo practice of the Ewe people may not be something that is left out. But does that mean that we shouldn't drive in a car? You can get an accident and die, but people drive car every day and they get back to their homes safely. So I will not look at the consequences and avoid learning what I can learn to make my life a better one. Thank you very much, Dada Aqua. Thank you for coming to my program today. Yeah, I'm very grateful. And then we have Daviba Mili here. That's Mause. Hello, Mause. How are you? Thank you very much. And I didn't. People left before I got up. Yeah, thank you very much for coming. I hope everybody is fine. Georgie has gone back to school. Thank you for coming and joining the program. I'm grateful. Okay, so we have a Kudaje Kwanyo. He said, please, where is the right place to face during libation for good? Okay, I don't know the right place to face during pouring libation. I think you can face anywhere that you choose or you feel comfortable facing. However, most people, because of the early worshipping of the sun, which became a fundamental way of looking at life, because sun rise and brings life. When the sun rises, it gives the whole world food. Plants use it for making photosynthesis. Animals use it to charge themselves in their solar panels, especially like crocodiles, lizards, and all snakes and other animals. And we human beings also, we need the ultraviolet light. Sometimes when a child is sick and is anemic and pale, sometimes they advise the parents to bring the child out into the sun to absorb some ultraviolet lights in order to strengthen the child's life or to strengthen the child's body. So most people, including myself, we usually face the east because that's where life comes from. So we face the east and we pray towards the sunrise when we pour libation. But there are certain libations, sometimes you have to face the west when you are pouring libation for something to go down and come to a conclusion and come to a peaceful place. Yes, we face the west or the sun down. And that's what I know, and that's what I do. And that's what I teach to. And then we have my brother again, that Aqua. Secondly, tell us what can be done by an individual at home for self-purification by himself. Okay, for self-purification, I don't really advise it unless someone teaches you what to do. Because there are so many forms of purification. By taking a normal bath with soap, it's also a form of purification. There are herbs that people know, and they use those herbs and put them in their baths and bath them. And these herbs help you also in self-purification. And there are also combination of herbs that will purify a person for a particular purpose. These things are all things a person needs to learn. However, if the person is not interested to go to people who are herbalists and who know about herbs and the powers, the potency of the herbs and powers of herbs in cleansing our inner selves as well as our physical self, I will advise that you just pour salt into your water and then you bath and make affirmation. That's also another form of purification, a simple way when a person who will not go to a herbalist or a traditional priest to help them. Thank you very much, Dada Aqua, for that question. Okay, we are now on YouTube and we have a Meditate, Relax, Ome Music 558. Say good evening, Papa, and all AMT Bokors. What is your take on extraterrestrial like aliens? Some sources say these spirits we try to invoke, these spirits that we try to invoke are from other planets and star systems. Yes, my brother, Obey Music. It is possible that the spirits that we are trying to invoke are from other planets. Because, like the spirits I work with, from my beginning of African traditional spirituality, Voodoo, my teacher was also versed in Kabbalah and some Christian spirituality. So he actually told me that some of these entities are energies or spirits on different planets. That's why I taught my children what each particular deity, where its planetary alliances are. So there is high possibility that spirits may come from other planets, but to call them extraterrestrial or aliens, I don't call them aliens. The universe is one and nature is beautiful. The spirits can interact with you in nature and teach you. Even the plants that surrounded, each and every plant has an entity behind it. And if you have a knowledge of how to use that entity that is behind that plant, you can make a big change in your own life and in the lives of other people. So I don't believe in aliens, whether they call them aliens. Who is an alien? We all live in the universe, and if the people or the spirits are not from this planet, I would not call them aliens in the sense that they are all in nature and the whole universe is one. So I don't call them aliens, but if there are extraterrestrial beings somewhere, I cannot confirm that. I have never been a follower of UFO or extraterrestrial beings. I'm not interested. But I've been a follower and I'm interested with energies and entities that work within this particular universe. They may be from a far place or nearby, as in plants and all this thing. I'm interested in them and I work with them and I see results. Please, this thing has gone. Where is Marina again? This thing has come on fault on this. And then meditate, relax, sleep, relax, and obey music again. Say, what can you say about the belief? Most people say it's all about what you believe in. I personally argue against this mentality. Is it about believing or there is something else at play? As I had always said on our program, African Magic Temple, we don't teach about belief system. We teach about what you experience practically and what you can say. It's not, you don't believe, because in belief, you don't experience, you just believe. Even if it's okay or it's not okay, you just accept. But in Ewe Vodu traditional spirituality, you must test whatever you are taught and see whether it is practical or it's not practical. You don't believe. So I don't have a belief. I don't believe in anything. I think I have said it many times that we don't believe, because our system is not based on belief or faith. It is based on practical experience and experimentation. That is what Voodoo is based on. It's not a belief system. However, there are a lot of people who do worshiping and just believing and doing worshiping. We don't worship at our shrine. And the people who taught me did not teach me to worship. Because every voodoo is a combination of herbs. And those herbs, when combined, bring a state of where an entity that is in the universe, whether you call them extraterrestrial or spirit or voodoo or whatever, will be attracted to that particular thing that you have made with herbs. But our ancestors did not just do it out of nowhere without thinking. They know what exactly they want to attract, and they know what herbs that will be needed to attract that particular spirit. If you want a spirit of a warrior, there are herbs that they will put. If you want a spirit of business and attraction, they know which herbs to put. So it's like having a telephone that if you want to use MTN, which is one of the what do you call it, networks in Ghana, if you put an MTN chip in your device, you will receive information through MTN. If you put a telecell chip in your device, you receive information through telecell. And the same applies to all the Airtel Tigo. Is it still called Airtel Tigo? It's now called 80. So spirits and entities and energies are like that. If you are able to know the combination that will make them work with you, they come to work with you. And when they are working with you, they are not working with you for you to believe them. They will practically solve tasks that you give them, and you don't need to believe. I had been born into a Christian family, but the belief system in Christianity was just to believe whether it is real, it's happening or not. Even if you are suffering, you just have to believe, because one day, if you are not careful, when heaven appears and you are not believing, you will be found wanting. And unfortunately, nobody had died and gone and came back and told us about heaven than what the white man has written down, and then our own imagination. Our system is not based on belief. So I don't have any belief, and I don't teach about belief. I teach about practicality. And when you are experimenting and experiencing, no one will tell you that this is very practical and it is not based on faith or belief. Thank you very much. Meditate, sleep, relax. Omobe music. Thank you. And then our brother meditates, sleep, relax, Omobe music again. When I saw some Nigerian film where the guy will go to sleep with a stone and astral travel to some place, I dive deep into the study, and the issue is in inducing the state. Maybe the Bokors can make a portion. I've never seen those film or anything like that before. But you must also understand that in our traditional spirituality, we don't induce the mind. We are not using ayahuasca or any of those hallucinating herbs in order to induce humans' mind to be able to reach a state. That is not African traditional spirituality. If people are practicing that today, they may be borrowing that from other cultures. But from African traditional spirituality, nobody induces the mind. At least the ones that I have encountered and worked with, we don't induce the mind either with ganja or any hallucinating drinks or portions or whatever. If you can remember that in the Bible, when Jacob was sleeping on a stone somewhere on the field when he was heading his sheep, he slept on a stone and then he dreamt he went to heaven and all that. That was written story in the Christian Bible or in the Bible. So most of Nigerian films are being sponsored by Christian churches and Western countries that are trying to control the world and have this supremacist agenda, whereby anybody else in the world is not qualified to be anything than to serve the white man. And if you go against their will, they will destroy you because they have ways to destroy you. So most of these our Nigerian movies and African movies are mostly made to keep our minds down, to keep our minds in a dormant state where we cannot think for ourselves and put fear in us. That's all that it has been from time immemorial. And that's why the black man remains where he is, even though in Africa we have all the minerals that the world needed to go on. The Europeans are developing upon Africans' minerals. The Americans, the other parts of the world, the Asians and all these things are depending on the African minerals. That's why when recently Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali decided to stop France and other European countries from taking their uranium and other things, they have to be traveling to other parts to convince other leaders who are still puppets so that they can convince them to send them, because without us, they don't survive. But then this indoctrination and belief system that has been put in place through religious education had made us not to be able to value ourselves and not to look at ourselves as very important. Until the white man tells us what to do, we never know what to do. But it was a dominance education, and it is still going on every day. You see people holding placards on the street and telling you Jesus is coming soon, so you should believe. It's fine. They should believe. Nobody stops them. They should do what they can do. And when Jesus come, they should go. And if I don't want to go, nobody should get angry with me, because I am not you and you are not me. If I am suffering and I'm in pain, it's not you who is feeling pain. So why you worry? But people will start to insult you just because you don't want to follow that indoctrination. So in African traditional spirituality, the ones that I have come across, they don't give you any inducing elements or portions to drink in order for you to be able to get out of your body. Thank you very much for that question. Okay, we are back to TikTok, and then we have a Akaditi. I did this recently, and my Bokor told me it was not wise. Are you talking about the purification? I don't know. If your Bokor or told you that don't purify yourself with salt, then maybe he has his own reason. I teach my students, and those of them who have used it, they can confirm whether it works for them or not. But if your Toboko or Bokor that is guiding you told you it is not okay, what have I to say? I don't know him. I have done work with him, but me, that's how I work. So anyway, said and then Akaditi went on. So I took Fatima Koklota doing, and then Ahame. Okay, those are also herbs that that people use. People use Fatima, people use Koklotochu, and then Ahame, which is what's the English name? No. this thing, what do you call it? Basil. Yeah, basil. Yeah, so people use that one too, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Then we have Piga, plus giving his number plus 255796464 at Akaditi. Please be very careful when people come on my program and giving you a telephone number that is not our number. There may be people who are trying to scam you. They are also on the program watching, and they are watching you people who are asking questions of trying to do a reading for them and all these things. So sometimes these people are people who are trying to scam you. Why do I say so? Because if they know anything and they can do what they are trying, they may be trying to tell you by sending you their numbers. They should have had their own program, and when you join them, then they teach you. They don't come on other people's program and be putting their numbers in order to scam them. I don't work with them, I don't know them, and they are not part of my shrine. Please block that particular person who has put their number up to everybody so that they don't come on my program and scam others. They can form their own platform and teach, and people will listen to them. And if they teach and the people are convinced, they can contact them. But don't come on my program and put your number in there to be able to get people and steal from them. There are many, he has sent to almost everybody. Yes. Just block him. Because I hate people who do come just to cheat and deceive other people. This platform is for learning about the truth, learning about our culture, learning about our spirituality. Don't come on this program and try to scam people. So at Akaditi, Sekpati Manko, Klotachu, and then and Ahame. Yes, it's okay. You can use the herbs that they taught you to use. So I put them together and stick them inside a mask I bought at market. Okay, mask. Why do you put them in a mask? But I was told it is bad for me because I'm not initiated yet. No, using herbs to cleanse yourself shouldn't be bad for you because you are not initiated. It is not true. Maybe if you are trying to set up a voodoo that you don't know what kind of voodoo you are trying to set up, that wise it can be said it is dangerous, because buying or using something that you don't know the consequences, what the reactions will be, maybe. But for herbal cleansing, I don't think by putting those Patima Kokrota and Ahame inside a mask would, but inside a mask means you are trying to set up a voodoo. But if it's for cleansing, then I don't see anything wrong with it. But if you know or have an idea about how to set up a voodoo, then you don't have any problem. But if you don't have an idea about how to set up a voodoo with herbs and you just putting it together, maybe the reaction of the entity that may come or may appear, you may not be able to control it, or you don't have any idea about it. That is where the danger is. Everything in life you need to learn. Even when you buy a gun, you must learn how to shoot by going to a person who knows how to shoot, and the person will teach you. When you buy a car, either you go to a driving school or someone who is already a good driver will teach you. Even books, when you buy a book and you are not already educated, you need to learn how to read ABCD and put words together to be able to read a book. So in life, everything that you don't know,